my little town.
Welcome back, Santa Clarita Valley. This is Perry, your host of the City of Santa Clarita Spotlight Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm here in the studio with Rick Gould, the Director of Arts and Recreation for the city, and Phil Lantis, the Arts and Events Administrator. These two people help bringing us the AMGEN tour this year. And there's a lot of auxiliary events. The city of Santa Clarita doesn't do anything small. If it's going to do something, it's going to go all out, and it's doing the same thing for the AMGEN tour. It's kicking off a week, just like with the Cowboy Festival and all of its build-up events. There's basically a week about biking, right?
Yeah, and actually it extends. We're doing a kickoff event next Saturday. That's April 27th, called Ride with the Mayor. And it's just over a 6-mile ride. It's going to start and finish at the Iron Horse Trailhead, which is off of Magic Mountain Parkway, near that trestle bridge. And it's an easy enough ride. It's not hilly or anything, so families can do it. It's a free event. We're meeting at about 8:30, and the ride will start about 9 o'clock. And it's a chance to ride with Bob Keller and just have a nice day. And it's almost all on the trails, and there's so it's nice and safe and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of our kickoff event. And then the week of the tour coming to town, we have a few different events. One is a partner with our local Velo Club. They do an annual Chuck Pontius Criterium event in the Industrial Center, where they basically ride in a relatively small circle, and they've been doing that for a while.
I got to ask you, the Chuck Pontius event?
Chuck Pontius was actually a city employee and a cycling enthusiast who unfortunately was killed. It's got to be about 19-20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And there's a trail section named after him, a section of the South Fork Trail named after him. But in honor of him, they do this criterium event. And it just timed out perfectly that when they had already been planning to do it was the Sunday before the tour was coming to town. So that Sunday is the criterium in the Industrial Center. Then Monday evening, we're having a viewing party at Salt Creek Grill, where you'll be able to join us to watch the coverage of the I think it's the second stage of the AMGEN Tour of California. Then obviously May 14th and May 15th are May 14th is the stage finish, stage 3 finish, and May 15th is the stage 4 start. And then on May 16th, once again, it kind of worked out. Our annual Bike to Work Day is happening on that Thursday right after AMGEN leaves town. And that night is our monthly census event, and so we're doing a bike-themed one called Rock the Bike. So it's kind of a whole week of bike events, and it's really kicking off next Saturday with the Ride with Mayor at the Iron Horse Trailhead.
And so Mayor Keller is going to be there for 6 miles. It's going to be biking along with everybody.
He's actually a cyclist. I mean, he's not, like, competitive. But
he's not going to be in the tour.
Yeah, well... Not that we know of. Okay. They haven't announced the riders yet. Maybe he'll make the list.
I'll keep checking back hometownstation.com for updates.
But yeah, it's going to be just a really fun ride, and we've done that a few times before, kind of community rides, and the wonderful Iron Horse Trailhead opened about 6 months ago.
That's correct. Yeah.
And so we wanted to use it to highlight it because it's really a great site and very beautiful, and kind of connects some trails that didn't used to connect. So we figured we'd highlight that as well.
And the Iron Horse
Trailhead, yeah.
Iron Horse Trailhead. Tell me a little bit about that. Where does that go? Where does that start? You had mentioned the street, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's off Magic Mountain Parkway,
okay.
Near the intersection of I-5 and Magic Mountain.
Oh, right there. Okay.
And it's really recognizable by the old railroad trestle that sits across the Santa Clara River. There's a parking area there that can handle a number of cars, and you can still park along Magic Mountain and stuff because we think there'll be a pretty good crowd. But it's a trailhead that we constructed in partnership with Newhall Land, and it connected the western reaches of some of our Class 1 trail systems, both the South Fork Trail and some of the trails that go not only into the industrial area but also up into San Francisco Canyon. Someday they'll actually connect to the trails that go towards Ventura County.
Oh, cool. So, and when you say a Class 1 trail, what does that mean exactly?
Class 1 trail is a separated paved trail, not on the main roadway. So when you're riding on a bike or you're running or just walking, it's really a protected area where you're not having to worry about cars. It's typically lined so that there's a right lane and an oncoming lane, those types of things.
It's a real road for bikes.
But we have about 33 miles of Class 1 trails here in town, and you see them all along Soledad. You see them along Newhall Ranch Road, and it's one of the main things that the city's really been promoting, and one of the reasons that AMGEN fits so well with us in the Tour of California. We really are a bike-friendly town, and that's one of the sort of the parts of the niche that helps us bring this race around.
And the Iron Horse Trail is the newest one. Is that 6 miles? Is that like a complete trail? Is that a typical length? Or
well, it's using different sections of different trails. We just when we were looking at a ride that would make sense, where it would be not so short that actual riders would be bored with it, but something that basically everyone can do. And also wanting to keep it off the roads as much as possible, we look for that route. So
Sure,
it's a very nice route, and it'll be a very pleasant day. Hopefully, weather will cooperate.
And when you're talking about auxiliary events, it's a little bit, for the Cowboy Festival, I'd imagine it's easier to put together a census event where, all things Cowboy, that just, kind of writes itself. But as far as for a Rock the Bike census event, what does that entail? What is going to be there? What are people going to expect to see?
Well, we're going to have some fun things like stationary bike races. I'm very good at it. I go very far.
That strikes me as an oxymoron. How are we doing a stationary bike race? You're going to have to explain that one to me.
Well, if you've ever been in a gym and rode a stationary bike, you have a counter. Okay. And so you basically are racing either in amount of time how far you can go or who can get to a certain distance first. And we've done it both ways, and I don't remember what we're doing next month, but I'll know by next month.
And I'm sorry, in a gym?
No, we bring them out onto the street. We also have trike races.
Okay.
We'll have hopefully some of the local bike shops coming out. We'll hopefully have some safety demonstrations. We'll have a band that's kind of appropriate. We'll just make it a fun thing, and it's really a celebration of the week that we will have had and talking about bikes. And cycling is huge in Santa Clarita.
Right.
It really is. If you go out on the weekends in particular, there's large groups of people out on our streets or trails riding bikes. So it's a great opportunity to highlight that and really highlight that internationally. One of the things that we forget being Americans is cycling is a humongous sport worldwide. Right. So the Tour of California will be seen by millions of people around the world and really put Santa Clarita on the map in a way that you can't do. I mean, we couldn't spend the amount of money to advertise across the world what we're getting as a benefit on top of the economic development impact.
Right. Now, when you talk about a trike race, are these full-size trikes, or are you going to see, I'm 6'5", am I going to be squeezing on a little kid trike?
We usually have both, just so nobody gets injured. But we do have some bigger trikes, but it's more fun to ride the little ones.
Kyle, the race is on. My producer, Jellyman. I'm just letting you know right now I'm throwing down the gauntlet. We are here. We are here with the City of Spotlight show, looking at City of Santa Clarita Spotlight show. That's twice, Kyle. I'm gone. We're talking about all things Santa Clarita. I'm here with Rick Gould and Phil Lantis, and we're back to talk a little bit more after the break on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.